speeches.
Let's go back to the opening of The Merchant of Venice, where Antonio the merchant is talking to his friends Salerio and Salanio.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it is made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a scant wit.
Such a want wit.
Yes.
Same thought.
And such a want wit sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean. Where your argosies with portly sail, like signors and rich burghers on the flood, or as it were the pageants of the sea, to overpeer the petty traffickers, that curtsy to them, do them reverence, as they fly by them with their woven wings.
Good. Now, let's compare the two speeches. Now, Antonio's is relatively naturalistic, isn't it? Or isn't it?
Yes, it's quite easy, I think, for a modern actor to get into it, because there aren't many old-fashioned words in it, though I do it's written in verse and not prose. And it just occurred to me that I probably did that speech absolutely wrong. I'm far too slow and ruminative, because Salerio says your mind is tossing on the ocean, and it sounds as if perhaps my mind should have been more tossing and... But anyway, that's just a point of interpretation.
That's a good thought, but what I want to do is to compare the two. When I say yours is naturalistic, what I mean is it's naturalistic in comparison with Salerio. Now, his speech is actually much harder and much trickier, because it's full of images and metaphors like tossing on the ocean, portly sail, a simile like seniors and rich burghers on the flood, and pageants of the sea, and curtsy to them, a metaphor as they fly by them with their woven wings. Now, clearly, his text is heightened and lifted above naturalism. He's coining phrases, he's finding unusual words. But first, let's ask ourselves our basic question, what's his intention?
Well, I think his intention is to cheer him up, probably by sending him up, or teasing him up. Teasing him. Yeah.
Good. Well, having established the intention at the start, now, what do we do about the language to further that intention?
Language which you would call heightened language. Yes. And can you define that, heightened language?
Yes, I'm taking it a bit for granted, aren't I? I suppose the easiest way would be to say any language which is not naturalistic, any place where there are images and metaphors and similes or surprising language. So let's just keep comparing the two speeches, and I think the difference is pretty obvious. Let's see what happens, for instance, if we tried to do poor old Salerio's speech naturalistically. Just see what happens.
Well, completely flat, straight, natural, as I would speak, or anybody would speak, just
try and see what happens.
Well, your mind is tossing on the ocean. There were your argosies with... portly sail, like signors and rich burghers on flood, as it were,
I think that's
the pageants of the sea.
Good. That's right. Well, thank you very much. Well, it doesn't work, does it? It's unclear and it's woolly. You can't deal with a heightened speech like that. It's the way it's written. It must be something that the actor, or rather the character he's playing, finds for himself, because he needs those words and images to express his intentions. You need those words to, as we've agreed, cheer up and send up Antonio. So you've got to find them, or we can call it coin them, or fresh mint them, or any word that we want to invent the word at the very moment that you utter it. You need it desperately. It's not just a pre-exists in the text. It's got to become your words.
What the director usually asks the actor to do to deal with